All right, man.
Good evening, everybody. Sorry for the late. It's all on me. Welcome to Inquiring Minds. My name is Hialeah Comic Bro, as you all know. We're Conquistadork Javi. What's up, Javi? What's going on?
What's up, man? Happy to be here. Thank you, man.
What's up? Hey, man, we got NYC 84 and Bud. Thank you, guys. 84. I'm a little bit frazzled because 90 just left. As you know, that was him in the chat a little while ago, man. We were just dying laughing. Dude, it was great.
You guys are always pulling pranks.
Dude,
you guys are scheming.
Dude, it was so funny, bro. JP picked it up real quick that it wasn't me, that it was 90. Oh my God, it was. Hey, Purple Rain. Hey, without further ado, we got an awesome. Dude, we always have an awesome guest, don't we?
Always.
Always have a great time.
Yet another one.
Always have a great time doing this. So what is it? Once I picked up on it, that was cracking. Yeah, bro. We were dying laughing, man. All right, here we go, guys. I want you all to welcome Unruly Simian. What's going on, Unruly?
I can't call it. I want to holla, but the joint's too small.
Bro, can I just start with something unruly, man?
Yeah, man.
Earlier, when Biggie had man caves on earlier today, you were in the chat, bro. You cracked me up in the chats, bro. The quote, the question that you asked was, "Where do you live?" And how did you exactly word it? Your wording was spot on, perfect, man. What was it that do you remember what you wrote?
Yeah, I said, man cave, what is your street address and how robust is your alarm system? That FF1, man, he's got FF1, 2, and 3, and 4.
And 5.
Jesus.
Crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a great show. And his son, he was Javi. I don't know if I think you were at work, Javi, so you probably didn't catch it.
I wasn't able to see it.
Dude, it was super cool. Biggie was basically thanking him for everything, and then he started showing books. But he had his son with him, man. Dude, his son is little baby Mr. Gorell, right?
We had the same hair.
He's got like a little mini afro.
Dude, he had the fro. He was like probably like 13, 14. Man, I was like, dude, that's little mini Mr. Gorell. Oh my God, look at all these people in the chat, Javi, man. It's awesome, man.
Awesome. Bubs Comics. You already shouted him out.
Yeah.
Comic Head 84. He just had an awesome stream before this one. Go check that out. Comic Book NYC. Javi. Can't get enough. What's up? Pope Cerebus. The first is in here. And yeah, man, Steve Whiting just jumped in here. And some awesome more people going to be joining in here, of course.
Thank you so much for showing up, everybody. Man, we got Unruly Simian. Unruly, you show up in the chats, dude. You're a freaking comic relief. You're loved in this community, man. I see you in so many chats. It's incredible, and you have your channel. And dude, you know what? First, tell us a little bit about yourself, man.
Dude, let me say something before I talk about myself. I know that you are looking forward to the first time 90 tells you he gets pissed on full in the face changing a diaper. Because you know it's going to happen. If you've ever changed a little boy's diaper, you're going to get a face full of piss at least once in your life.
It's going to happen, man. I can't wait for him to tell me those horror stories, changing the diapers. You know what I'm talking about.
Hey, I'm 10 years older than one of my brothers, and I used to call him Napalm because he's shit green and it would kill plant life.
Only a parent understands that. Understands that, dude. Because I've been there quite a bit, man. Oh my God, so funny. Hey, can I just say real quick? He is so happy. He's so proud, man. He's like on top of the world, guys, man. He is just. It's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see, man. He is so proud of his little boy, man. It's awesome. He was just here a little while ago, man, and my God, he was just gushing. Man.
Well, I've never seen somebody that I've never seen a soon-to-be dad that stoked leading up to it. You know, he was excited.
My God, I was saying that to Steve Whiting, man. Me and Steve talk quite a bit, and I was telling him the same thing. I don't remember being like, man. You know it too, Javi. You hang out with 90. He was telling everybody, man.
Yeah, he was telling everybody. He called me.
What?
He called me. He called me, and he was like, "Hey, man, I'm right by down this because the hospital's like,
dude, it's right there.
It's like literally right there.
This other way, the other way. Yeah. Dude, he is." But he would tell everybody, man. We would go to Flanagan's. He would tell the bartender. We would go to every shop. Everybody knows he's having a kid. It's
the comic book shop knew.
Everybody at Tate's knows he's having a kid. Everybody knows he's having a kid. Okay.
Hey, we got Joey Bag of Sevens in the chat as well.
Joey Bag of Sevens. Joey, I'm not gonna be singing today. All right, buddy. No singing.
Diapers are 90.
Well, let me tell you, man. When I was born in October of '63, my old man was a junior in college and my mom was a sophomore. And a few years back, my mom died. I was going through all her stuff, right?
Oh, wow.
My hospital bill from when she had me, $53.
Wow.
Times have changed.
And, back then, $53 was a chunk of change, but, it wasn't no 10, 15 grand.
Yeah, no, dude.
Right.
For sure, man. Did she have you natural? Because that makes a big...
No. I'm pretty sure they knocked her out. I mean, I don't know. It was 63. Yeah. I guarantee you this, my old man wasn't in the delivery room.
Oh, no, not back then, man. Not back then. 90 was telling me he cut the umbilical cord, man. Dude, he's crazy. He's on top of the world. Okay, but we're not talking about 90, man. We're talking about Unruly.
Dude, I'm just a regular blue collar dude, man. I've been in the comics my entire freaking life. I have left it a couple of times. Like in '74, I started surfing, right, and got real. I mean, that became my life for about the next decade.
Nice.
And so, that shit's expensive. And I still read comics. I still had friends that had comics, but I wasn't buying any. And I was in the crotch, right? And from 80 to early 84. And in 82, a buddy of mine in my platoon, it was like a Saturday afternoon. He comes walking back. He'd been on the bus down to San Diego. And he's got a stack full of comics in his arms. He'd been to a comic shop. And it was like, all the Marvel titles were popping in the very early 80s.
Yeah.
Basically, the only good title DC was putting out was Teen Titans. And so he'd let me read his shit. And I wasn't buying them, but when I got out in 84, me and this girl I was seeing at the time were in a convenience store and she was, dicking around. So I'm going through the spinner rack and I picked up Burns FF. And it was off to the races, man. I was right back in it.
Where did you grow up?
My old man, I was telling Javi this a little earlier. My old man was a lifer in the Navy. He was a pilot. Oh, wow. So we moved every 2 years. But he would come back to Pensacola to be a flight instructor like 2 or 3. We lived in Pensacola 3 or 4 times. Wow. And that's where he retired. That's where he lives now. But I've been all up and down the East Coast, and I was stationed on the West Coast when I was in, and I basically saw, you name a little podunk country in the Pacific, and I've been there.
Is that where you've been surfing?
No, that's when I was in the service.
Oh, you said you were surfing?
No, I got to surf a couple of spots, but, the Uncle Sugar doesn't send you overseas to go surfing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's not Apocalypse Now, right? It's only in the movies, baby.
Top Gun, baby. That's.
Where do you live now?
San Diego.
Well, I've been in Georgia. Here's the deal. The summer I was 16, I worked in this grain elevator in Savannah, making really good money, especially for a dumbass 16-year-old kid. And my mom lived there. When I got out of the crotch, in early '84, right, and hooked up with this chick, and I fell madly in love, and we lived together, and it was and then she broke my heart, and so I'm whining to my mom on the phone one night, and I was surveying at the time, and she said, "Well, hell, move here." And so I liked Savannah. I moved to Savannah and lived with her for about a year before I got my own place, and I've been in Georgia ever since.
And your dad, you said, is in Pensacola?
Yeah, the old man's in Pensacola, playing golf every day.
Good for him, man. So you got the Florida connection.
Oh yeah. My littlest brother was born in Pensacola, and we lived for 2.5 years in Jacksonville at one point when I was in junior high.
There's a base in Jacksonville, isn't there?
Yeah, NAS Jacks, or not NAS. What's the name of the base? Mayport.
Yeah. I used to have family in Jacksonville, and I know there was a big presence in that town. So okay, so you got out of comics. Your buddies come in with a ton of comics, and you get back into it. What? How do you jump back in? Did you still have your original comics?
No, man. When I joined the crotch, I wound up splitting them up. I had a bunch of geek friends, and I wound up splitting them up amongst them. The only thing I held on to was I had all the heavy metals, and even when I wasn't reading comics, I was getting heavy metal.
Nice.
Do you remember any of the original ones that you had? Do you remember it? Like, what were the books that you had from the beginning? Do any of those stand out that you think you had, or?
Oh, I know. Listen, when Giant Size X-Men dropped, all right, back then, we were little kids. We'd ride our bikes. I was like, how old was I when that came out? 12.
Yeah.
We'd ride our bike to all the convenience stores. I was living in Virginia Beach at the time. And me and my buddy every Saturday morning would jump on our bikes and hit all the convenience stores. And, there wasn't no internet, and there might have been, like, I think the Comics Journal was around, but I didn't know about it. We had no idea Giant Size X-Men was coming. I had 5 copies of that shit.
What?
Yeah, I bought them right off the rack, 50 cents a piece. I was collecting Spider-Man, so I had all those, in the 120s.
The 120s, yeah. They were all around the same time. Oh my God, that hurts, bro. It
hurts bad. But you know what, man? I would not have held on to them at this point. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I don't kick myself in the ass.
Yeah, you didn't know back then. They didn't mean what they mean today. That's for sure.
When I started reading comics, the cover price was 15 cents. And so you would run across, so the Silver Age was just yesterday.
Right.
And me and all my friends had a ton of books, that were 10-cent cover price, Golden Age books. I bet you out of the first Action was up to 300 and something at that point. I had half of the first 300 of Action, none of the really low ones.
Right.
But like between 100 and 300, I had a shitload of them.
That's crazy, dude. Do you remember this is what me and my buddies used to do. We used to look for books that had the Mile High ad, and that's how we used to find what the keys were. Did you ever do that?
No. See, look, when I was collecting, it was all about the first issue. The number ones were what were important, not the. So who cares if it was Tales of Suspense number 47? It was the first appearance of so and so. I've got Iron Man number 1, bitch.
Yeah.
But that's what we thought was important.
We used to get the Mile High thing, and you know what was big? We used to look for too was like Origin issues.
Yeah, those were cool.
Did you watch? Did you see those? Did you look for those?
No, it was all right. I was a big DC guy.
Oh,
yeah.
When I was a real little kid in 1st and 2nd grade, we were living in Louisiana. It was my old man, was his first time he went to Vietnam, right? And it was me and my mom would stay with his parents in this little bitty town in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana. And I would walk the 2 blocks to the drugstore and go through the spinner rack. And I was just completely oblivious to the fact that Marvel existed. It was all Superman, Batman, Flash, Justice League, Green Lantern. All right, so when I was 12, we moved to Virginia Beach, and a buddy of mine, I think Conan was up to like the 40s at that point, and he just handed me the stack and let me read them, and it blew my mind. And he had all the FFs up to that point, all the X-Men, the first 66. I read them all in the, in the original books. And that's when I became aware of Marvel, man. And I wasn't worried. I'd buy first issues. We all would. But I was just putting together runs of the shit I liked.
And you still got those today?
Oh, hell no. Those are long gone.
Everything. So when did you get back into it that you got your, because I've seen your videos, man. And everybody in the chat, everybody that's going to see this on replay, please check out Unruly Simian's YouTube channel, because, dude, he's got
definitely
fire, man. You got, like, it seems like me and you, like, we have a lot in common.
He's got great opinions, too.
Huh?
He's got great opinions, too.
Yeah, he's got great opinions. And, dude, I love your haul videos, man. You show fire every time. So when did you get into, like, now, that collection where you got serious about it? Has it been long?
All right, so here's the deal. So like I said, when I got out of the crotch, I started buying them again. And from like the middle of 84 till about early 1990, there was 2 comic shops in Savannah. I had a pull list on both of them. And I was collecting runs, all that great DC shit. Mm-hmm. And then I got out of the game. All right, this might be TMI. I'm an alcoholic, all right? Hardcore. I haven't had a drink in a long time. But the 90s, I basically lived in a pool hall drinking. And I got out of comics completely. Mm-hmm. But now I'd still go, because the comic shop was like 2 doors down from the pool hall. I'd still go and get graphic novels. And if he had an old Silver Age Marvel on the wall, I'd buy it if it was in good shape.
Right.
Yeah.
But I wasn't buying any new comics at all. And then in 2001, at the convenience store, I was living in this little apartment in Midtown Savannah, and there was a little convenience store right next to me. And I was flipping through the spinner rack, and I bought an issue of the Ultimates and Ultimate Spider-Man, and boom, I was back in the game of buying floppies. But
you're hooked.
Oh yeah, from 97 to 06 or so, I was big on eBay buying original art. I mean, I was addicted to original art.
And you still have that?
No, I got when the economy tanked in 08, I had to sell them to stay alive, man.
Oh,
but
wow.
I've got a handful of pieces.
Okay. Hey, comic heads asking against because I actually have this question too. I kind of figured out what it is. It's what's the crotch?
Uncle Sam's Marijuana Club, the Marine Corps.
Okay, I've never heard that term either. I kind of picked up on it. So okay, so you were in the Marines. Why the crotch?
Because that's what it smells like, brother. It's a nasty, sweaty crotch.
Okay. 84. We got your answer. Your answer. Oh my god. Oh my god, that's awesome, dude. All right, dude. I'm sorry to interrupt, man. So you got into original art and you were getting it on eBay?
Yeah, I was early on eBay, and I was buying at that time. I was trying to put together some early X-Men, and I was buying comics.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't remember this day. You know, everyone was on AOL back then in the late 90s.
Yeah.
And I ran into this dude, and he was big into the art game. And so I started looking at that shit. And then I just got hooked, man. I got hooked big time on art.
Man, when you brought that up, I was just thinking about one person, and that's NYC. And he just commented, daydreaming about Unruly's original art collection. Yeah, man. My mind went straight to NYC. Yeah, man. That's a shame. But you know what? I'd be happy that you had it, man. And it kept you afloat.
Yeah, it did. Listen, so I've only been plumbing for about 5 years. I was a surveyor for 20. And when the economy tanked, my company, we went from 4 4-man survey crews to 2 2-man. And I wasn't one of the guys that stuck around.
No.
And it was a rough couple of years before I found a gig. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have had that art, I wouldn't have been eating.
Yeah, you would have been in dire straits and shit. So thank God for. I say that a lot. I brought that up to people, man. You know, when they say they had to sell and all this, man. Thank God you had that, man. Hopefully we all never find ourselves in that situation, or hopefully you don't. But thank God for comics, man. Who would have thought that would have helped you get through that time? So
yeah,
it's all good. You know what? You just brought up something else that you just showed recently, and I believe I'm not sure if you showed it on Instagram or on a video, but you have a spinner rack, don't you?
Oh yeah, I got that 3 years ago for Christmas. It was my Christmas present to me.
Oh my God. Where did you find it?
All right, well, look, here's the deal. I've been wanting one a while, and you'll see them on eBay if you search spinner racks, and they're old original ones, and people want like 800, 1,000 for them, and then they want 100 to 200 to ship them.
Yeah.
But this guy, you know, I kept refreshing that page for a year, and I don't know where he got them, but he had 5 brand new in the box. I paid $350 shipped for it.
Wow.
And I was super stoked to get it.
I was stoked when I saw it on your. Where you showed that on Instagram?
Yeah, I think I took a picture of it. It's in my very first video I ever posted. You'll see it.
Dude, that's badass. And what was it? You put like in the caption, you put something about every time you change it out, the joy you get, or something to that effect.
Oh yeah, man, that's like me meditating. I'll just sit there. What books do I want to display that no one but me will see?
That's awesome, though.
Dude, a spinner. Javi, were you around for spinner racks?
No.
No?
Like going to like the grocery shop and buying comics off the spinner rack? No.
I used to go to the spinner rack at 7-Eleven, man. That's when I was a kid. It was 7-Eleven with the spinner rack. That shit's dude, I got jealous of shit when you showed it, Unruly, man. Not too many people have that. I think it's Lawrence. I think Bueller has one. There's a few out there though, but man, that is super nice, super nice. So okay, so you sold your original art collection. What happened next?
Well, I still had a shitload of Silver Age books that I've been buying, you know, for 10, 15 years. And then, you know, I got a good job, started making money again. And, you know, all right, this is how I stumbled into this community. I was on YouTube just watching surfing videos and music videos, you know. Mm-hmm. And for somehow or another, Jim's first room tour, Jim Mint, popped up in my recommends. And it was like, you know, I think the thumbnail was Omnis. It was all about the Omnis. And I was like, yeah. I'll check this out, because I was buying graphic novels, trade paperbacks right along. I just wasn't buying floppies. Mm-hmm. And that just blew my mind. And I was like, I knew about CGC. I knew it existed, but I didn't know any of the details. And that was like 2.5 years ago. I want to say his video popped up. So I started sending some shit off to be slabbed and just got back in. The very first slab I ever purchased was when Jim and Manimal, remember they did auctions of all the Manimal shit so he could, on the road to X-Men 1.
Yeah, I remember that.
I can't remember what issue it is. It's the first appearance of Cable. I bought it just to support him because I wanted to see what a slab looked like. And boom, that was the worst mistake I've ever made in my life.
You're just spiraling down the rabbit hole.
Hey,
oh my God.
It's addicting, isn't it?
It's you know, I'm close to 200 now. What the hell?
Dude, it's so addicting, man. Oh my God. I got addicted myself, so I totally understand where you're coming from, dude. So you started sending your own?
Yeah, I started sending my own, and 84 made a good point tonight about I will never buy a raw book off eBay. I just don't trust anybody anymore. I'm sorry. Now, brand new ones, yeah, I've got a couple of sellers that I'll get brand new books from on eBay. But a Silver Age, I will pay the money. What I do now, like I made mistakes early on and overpaid for more than one book.
Oh, me
but
too.
Now a book I want, if they got to buy it now price that's, you know, FMV or below, and I want it, I'll grab it. But I wait for auctions. because you're always going to get a good deal on an auction, or at least you're not going to pay any more. You see, all right, that FF67 that I just got, the Cocoon.
The Cocoon one that you weren't happy with it, correct? I think it was an 8.0.
It's a 7.5, and I just wasn't going to pay. But I got, you know what, man? I got it in an auction, and I got it for $80, $90 below FMV, and there's people asking for $200 and $300 more for 7.0s.
Wow.
When eBay first started, and there wasn't this buy it now bullshit, you could get some great deals. Because the original comic art, the most I ever paid for a piece of art was like $90.
Oh my goodness!
And those same pieces now, they're wanting 10 and 20 times that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
You're talking about 84 because of that Submariner that he got, that 4.0, and he made that comment on the show, and I feel bad. I totally understand how 84 is. Okay, wait. The raw books, the Silver Age books, those older big key books. Yeah, man, I'm not taking that chance anymore myself. I took a chance on a Silver Surfer 4, and I was on pins and needles waiting for it to come back because I was so scared it was going to be trimmed. And thank God it wasn't. So I totally understand his pain when he got that book. So yeah, a big book, man, dude, buy it slabbed already. Don't take the chance unless you're seeing the book, and even still, you might still get burned. You still don't know. So,
and that's hard to spot trimming, because if you look at pictures of raw books, like ASM 50 is a good example. That top edge, sometimes it varies from book to book in the printing. I don't trust trimming. I don't trust color touch. I don't trust none of that.
The one that scares me is that trimming, man. The trimming is the one, I think it's probably the worst one, and it's the one that scares me the most. Thank God it's never happened to me, but who knows? I got a couple of books there now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, do you still send your books out there to CGC Unruly?
Oh yeah, this was in, when was it? The late 90s, about 2000, I was in a comic shop.
Yeah. And
he had all those the Burn FF, Burn Claremont FF, and they were all in really good shape in one of his bins for like $3 to $5 each. And so I just started grabbing them. I'm going to send them off this year. And I've got probably 100 Silver Age that are in nice condition, but almost none of them are keys, So I don't know about sending them. My two grails this year that I want, you just mentioned one of them, is Silver Surfer 4 and Silver Surfer 1. And I want them both in about 8.0.
Oh, wow.
And I prefer white pages, but I don't mind off-white to white.
I don't mind the page quality on those also. It doesn't have to be white.
Big books.
What was that?
Those are some big books.
Those are some big books, Unruly. He's right, dude. 8.0.
Yeah, I bought a lot of shit in the last year and a half, and I'm toning it way back. I mean, it's just going to be, I'm going to still pick up an FF when I can get a deal on it, a Kirby FF, but I really want that Silver Surfer 1 and 4. And you know what kills me, man? This is what kills me. I remember in the late 80s when I was going to the LCS, 2 or 3 times a week, and they'd have that copy of Silver Surfer 1 on the wall or Giant Size X-Men, and it'd be $40, $50. And I was like, I will be damned if I'm going to pay $50 for a comic book I paid 50 cents for 10 fucking years ago.
Oh my God, dude. Are you serious? I can't believe you just said that, dude. Because I feel that
I've never bought it.
I feel the same way, dude. There's some books that I just refuse to get because, you know what book I refuse to get is the Spider-Man 194, the first Black Cat. Just for that reason, I used to have like 3 copies of that. We would buy it at Toys R Us in like a 3-pack for $1.
Wow.
And now that book is just ridiculous money, and I don't know what happened to my originals, and I just refuse to get that book because, man, I had it for
nothing. So yeah, dude, I totally get you. Man, oh my God, we're so much alike, dude. Our thinking is just, I guess it's the sign of the times that we were born, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, and listen, my two biggest grails of FF1, of course.
Okay.
But I would really, really, really want a copy of Cerebus #1.
Nice.
But that thing is so hard to find, and it's been counterfeited. And you almost never see it pop up on eBay.
And you brought that up at the perfect time because I just highlighted Pope Cerebus the First's comment right when you said that.
Yeah.
It worked out great.
He's got a Silver Surfer 1 at his store. He's saying that you should get it.
We should get it. He's not telling you how much it's for, though. That's a beautiful book, man. To me, that's one of the greatest, best covers of all time, man. Love that book.
It is beautiful art. But have y'all actually read that series?
It's great.
For me, it doesn't hold up. The stories don't hold up. The art.
I like, you know which issue I really love the story in is issue 2. That it's not a big key or anything. That story's, I remember, I love that story, man. That's a great story. I don't think it's that bad.
The original trilogy, 48, 49, 50, it blew my mind the first time I read it, and I still love it.
Awesome.
See, that I haven't read.
Yeah, I haven't read that either.
That I have to read. Do you have those?
Yeah, I've got them.
Oh man, so you're good, man. Dude.
After issue 30, I've got all the big FF keys at this point. Now I need to start buckling down. And, because those ones in the teens and the single digits, ain't none of them cheap.
No, and they're not going to get any cheaper.
Are they slabbed?
Yeah, I've got them all slabbed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm waiting on this Batgirl statue to come in. Sideshows, it was supposed to arrive November 15th, and they pushed it back, and every month I get a notice, it'll be next month. And I'm sending it to Jim first so he can review it. So it's looking like the end of March. At any rate, when I get that statue, I'll do another room tour, and my slab wall will be nothing but Kirby FF.
Wow. That is insane.
I'm on a
So you're sending your statue off to Gem Mint first? And then
Slideshow will mail it to him, he'll review it, and then he'll pack it up and send it to me. That's what I did with the Catwoman.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah. And now check this out. Yeah, he reviewed the Catwoman statue on his channel. He never hardly does DC shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So I hit him up and said, if you want to review these, I'll have them sent to you. And he was cool with that. But I've been thinking about getting a little card made up with his logo on it and saying, as originally seen on Gem Mint Collectibles, and sticking it on the base of the statue.
Oh, hell yeah, you to do that, man. How cool is that?
You can get him to sign it, or something. I don't know how that would work. Yeah.
That is so. He's actually from here. He used to go to Tate's and stuff. He used to live, I think, in Broward somewhere.
Yeah. I know. I'm a big fan of his, man.
Yeah, he's great, dude. His channel's blown up too.
Nice, that's awesome.
It was cool as hell seeing Matt on there on Jim's channel and Dylan.
Yeah, that they were in the he was actually at Jim's house or something, right?
Yeah, they live in the same freaking town.
Yeah, dude, how cool is that? I thought that was excellent too. I saw that show.
That's awesome.
So how did you start? How did you make the jump from watching surfing videos, watching Gem Mint? How did you make the jump to making your own videos?
Well, basically, all right, at that point, I was following, I probably had 20 or 30 comic channels I was sub to. And, dude, I had like 80 or 90 subscribers before I ever made a video. What the hell is up with that?
That is cool.
But at any rate, I figured I wanted to show my brothers my comic room. And so I put it on YouTube, and people watched it and liked it. And so, I don't even consider my channel a channel. When you put out a video once a month, you're not a content creator. I just do it because I want, I like sharing it with you guys because I love seeing everybody else's shit.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. That's how I feel, man. It's a way to just share your hobby, man.
and enjoy everybody else's books, right? I get a lot of joy seeing everybody else's books, man.
One of the things
hell yeah.
One of the things that I noticed from your collection, I think you were on the No Faces chat one time as a guest.
No, I have never been on their show, Javi, but I'm there every Monday in the chat.
Great show, man.
I forget who you were. You were live with somebody.
You did the Graders Notes, didn't you?
Yes, that's what it was.
Graders Notes.
Graders Notes. You did a Graders Notes, and on display you had a Midnight Vista, the alien, the alien variant. It was a 9.8, and I saw that, and like nobody knows, like nobody has that book. Nobody really knows about that book, and you had it, and you were displaying it, and I was like, oh snap! Like, it's that book. I love that book. I love that cover. Like, that's awesome. So,
well, hey Javi, I'm having a contest and giving one away. You got to get in on it.
I gotta definitely check that out, and definitely anybody who's in the chat right now, go check out Unruly's contest for that. That's awesome. I did not know about that. I gotta go check that out.
That's the thing, man. Unruly's talking about Silver Age books and this. Dude, you got a lot of key modern books, man.
Mostly, I've noticed that it's a lot of indie stuff too that you like to pick up.
Exactly.
Well, listen, I love indies. Hialeah, do you remember? Were you buying the indies in the 80s?
Somewhat. Not a ton. I buy a whole lot more now.
Dude, they exploded in the freaking 80s, and it made Marvel and DC step up their game big time. There was some great indies in the 80s, man. Great shit.
There was. You remember Badger? You remember? I used to love Badger.
Yeah, I remember Badger.
I love Badger, man.
I have a couple Badger issues. That's Image, I think.
I don't know. No, I don't. I think that's before Image, man.
Yeah, I think Badger was first comics.
Yes, first it was. Do you remember Faust?
Dude, yes, I had the first 5 issues of Faust. Dude. I bought them off the shelf.
Dude, Javi, have you ever seen Faust? Those Faust comic?
I've seen them. Yeah, I have
issue 1. The next time I see you, I'm gonna show. Dude, that book was. I was like, what, 14, 15. Dude, I was like, what the hell is this shit? Because it's black and white, but it is so graphic. I mean, not graphic sexually, graphic, violent. Oh my god, yeah, you're right, dude. It was a great time for that, dude, for sure.
That Faust was unbelievably vicious. Javi, imagine a dude with putting Wolverine claws on and then actually hacking people up with them and them showing it in detail.
Dude, it was so good.
My favorite indie shit from the 80s was Concrete, Dead World. I loved Tim Truman's Scout. That was some awesome shit.
Dude,
I love Dreadstar, even though Dreadstar wasn't really an indie.
Oh my god. You like Dreadstar?
I love that shit.
That was epic, right? That was like,
it was
epic. Dude, I was such an addict for freaking Dreadstar, Vance Dreadstar, and they had the whole storyline about Who's the Traitor. Do you remember that?
Yep,
dude,
yep.
So good, man. Nobody talks about. That was such a great book, man. Dreadstar. Oh my god, Concrete. You know what's another one? I used to love the Dark Horse Aliens run.
Yeah, listen, I remember when that came out, I thought it was a movie adaptation, and I was like, fuck that, I don't buy that shit. But then when they put out that graphic novel, I was flipping through it, and I was like, oh yeah, I buy this shit.
That original run of aliens from Dark Horse, man, that book was so hard to find, and it was expensive. Well, back then it was. My God, epic stuff. Yeah, man, for sure, dude. So now you read a lot, and I've seen a lot of 9.8s indie books that you collect. Do you read all those?
Oh yeah. If I don't like it, I'm not going to buy it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, let me back up. Every now and then, I'll totally spec on slabbed heroes. When they come out, you can order like a month or two in advance.
Right.
And if it's an indie that looks good to me, I'll go ahead and get it slabbed. 9.8 for $50, shit. You can't
beat it. And
so I bought some clunkers, but I bought a couple that have, turned out to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think me and you are in the same boat. We like the indie. I read a lot more indies than I do anything else. I don't read the DC at all, and I read very little Marvel. It's all not just Image, but it's the indies. I freaking love the indies, man. I just think they're the best stories.
Indies are nice. Hey, we got Silver Age Dave, Comics for All People, Life with Two YouTubers, Gore Vidal, Raw Random Wolf, Comics on the Mind, some awesome people joining us in the chat. Thank you everybody for being here. So I wanted to ask you. You say you're living in Georgia, but we were talking a little bit off air, but you're technically in Florida.
Yeah, I'm in Fort Myers building an apartment complex. That's what I do. I'm a road dog now. I fucking get home if I can get home every other week, I'm happy. But now I had a job in Clemson 3 years ago and I was home every weekend. Then 2 years ago, I was in Charlotte and I was home every weekend. So it's just, it's an 8-hour drive. I'm not going to go home every weekend with that drive.
So where are you now? In a hotel?
No. We rented, my company rented a house down here because I have crews. We got 4 bedrooms. Half the time I got 10 guys living in this place.
You guys party it up?
No, they do. They're all young dudes that work their ass off. No, man, I haven't partied in a long time.
So, but I wouldn't how much of your collection do you travel with, or are you just constantly picking up weekly, daily, every other day? I don't know how often do you go to the comic book shop?
Dude, I have not. The last time I was in a comic store was in 2012. I went to get an Overstreet.
What?
I get all my new stuff from Midtown, and I get it from Midtown 3 months out. Yeah. I know there's a Midtown package waiting at my house right now, and I have no idea what's in it. You know what I'm saying? Because I ordered it 3 months ago.
Right.
You haven't been to a shop in 8 years?
Well, yeah, I guess it's been 8 years, and that was the first time I'd been in one in 5 or 6.
Oh my goodness.
My 2 stores in Savannah closed down, and I'm sure there's another one there now. But
yeah,
I used to be tight with the owners of those places.
You have a few good stores in the Fort Myers area. I know that Fort Myers is that north of Tampa or south?
South, about an hour and a half south. Yeah, there's at least 3 stores. I've Googled it. I never get around to going over there. You know what I'm saying?
That is crazy.
So do you just bring books from your house and then you just bring them over while you're on a job?
No, I'll bring some Omnis with me to read. This is Astonishing X-Men.
Nice.
Because next Thursday, we're going to be on Graders Notes. That's what we're reviewing, so that's why I brought it. But all my comics are at the house.
What about those floppies? Paradise X or Earth X, I think it is.
Oh, yeah. Now, check this out. So we got a big job going in Tampa, and my guy, one of the supers up there, went to MegaCon last year, and he got me this whole run of Universe X.
Nice.
And gave it to me a couple months ago when I saw him.
Cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
You say you're hanging out with you're working with a lot of younger guys. They know what you're into, the comics and all that?
Oh, no, listen, we hardly socialize at all. Now, my apprentice has a little boy that's 11 years old, and I give him a lot of shit.
Oh, that's nice.
And my big boss knows I'm into comics. My big boss is, we've been good friends since 86.
Okay.
Cool.
He knows all about it. And he loves the MCU movies.
Yeah.
But he's not into comics at all. But he's got a daughter that just turned 13, and I got her Paper Girls, the hardbacks for Christmas.
Cool,
that's a
great.
good
Yeah,
book,
that's a great book. Yeah.
Paper Girls is awesome.
Yeah,
So,
man.
yeah.
And you know what? Screw all that. I don't buy books because they're optioned, but I would love to see Paper Girls made into a movie or a miniseries. That would be the shit.
It would be, man. I just don't know how they're gonna capture all the colors.
Right? That's what I was thinking. It's a little
All
bit
those-
fantastical, you know? Who knows?
Yeah, the pastel colors and all that. I would like maybe in a cartoon. I don't know, man. You know what? Nowadays they could do it. They could do it kind of like that Robin Williams movie that where he dies and it's like all fantastical. Maybe they could do something.
Yeah.
I forget what the name of the movie. God, what was the name?
Comic Book NYC says it's already been optioned for TV and in development.
No
So
shit.
I don't know if that's if it's.
But I'll tell you what,
talking
in
about
the 90s, when I wasn't buying floppies, I was still getting, I got all the trades as they came out of Preacher, of Sandman,
Preacher.
Why the Last Man, all the big heavy hitters I was, keeping up with.
Amazon Studios bought Paper Girls TV rights.
Dude, I just think all the indie books the stories are the best, man. I'm sorry. They're the ones that keep my attention.
They're different, superhero stuff can get so watered down.
Yeah. Like for one thing, I like reading I'm another Donny Cates fanboy because he just changes things up. So I enjoy reading what he brings to it. But mainly that's what I read is the indies.
Yeah, he's one of those. Listen, have y'all read Sandman?
No, I've never.
I've never read it.
Listen, Neil Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kate's mind, the way it works, blows me away. You could fit 100 Donny Cates into one Neil Gaiman. That motherfucker in Sandman would take an idea that somebody else could make a living off of and just throws it away in 2 panels. If you ain't read Sandman, you are missing out, man. It is that good.
I think the only thing I've read of Gaiman, I read some of the American Gods. That was about it. When that first came out.
I've read the novel and I've loved the show, but I didn't even know it was a comic.
Yeah, it came out maybe 2 years ago now. I don't know if it's still ongoing. Yeah, Gore Vidal loves
Neil Gaiman's Sandman was
also.
And the thing about Sandman is for a good 2/3 of that run, it was like DC was just giving him the worst fucking artist. Now, don't get me wrong. There's 2 or 3 story arcs on there where the art is solid. Like Charles Dess did a really good little run of it. But I mean, there's just most of the time the art is nothing to write home about, but it's still that good.
Wow. So why heavy metal? You mentioned heavy metal. That was your thing that you never stopped picking up.
Dude, heavy metal, it was great until heavy metal went quarterly and became all titties. Now, don't get me wrong. I love titties. Titties are nice, but you need more than just naked women to make a good story. And heavy metal, when it was a monthly, they had, they'd have 4 or 5 stories that were being serialized. They'd have one-shot stories, little one-page things. They had articles about music, movies, comics. It was great. And it was all these European artists that none of us had ever seen before, and they brought a whole new style and sensibility to it.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry.
Do you remember the movie Unruly?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yes. Listen. Me and a couple of buddies from my platoon went and saw that the Friday night it opened. I believe the expression is tripping balls. I mean, it was an experience. I had to go back a couple of weeks later and see it, in a sober frame of mind to really appreciate it.
Man, that was such a big part of my youth, that movie. Oh my God. I remember his Hand Over Fist. Oh my God, dude, that's so good. You've seen that, Javi?
I have never seen heavy metal. I'm a virgin, if you will.
I think the best time to see heavy metal is like when you're around 13 to 15 right in that spot.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Yeah, Hanover Fist. That was a Bernie Wrightson.
Was it?
Story. Yeah, it was it was inspired by some of his shit in the magazine. Just like that first episode, Den. Remember the guy that gets transported to the other planet and he's a barbarian?
That he's a
that
dweeb,
was
and then he gets all muscular.
That was a solid flick. It's still, I think, probably my favorite cartoon, straight up cartoon, you know, that's drawn to this day.
Dude, I love it. I got that on DVD, man. I think that's the only cartoon I got on DVD. I freaking love that shit. It's so good, dude. It's totally part of my freaking youth. For sure.
Man. Heavy Metal Gore Vidal is saying changes his perspective about comics. Introduced him to Guido's Creepax. Mobius. Oh, Mobius is amazing.
Manera is the shit.
Dude,
Manera did this serialized story called The Ape. Oh man, it is just beyond belief how cool that story is. And hey, Gore, do you remember the Mobius story, The Horny Goof? That was a fun little story. It was about this, you know, it's like a space opera, and it all revolves around this guy that's got like a 2-foot long wanger. It was hilarious.
Oh man, Mobius he draws some very crazy art. I love that.
Manera does beautiful women. Isn't Manera known for his erotica kind of art and stuff?
Yes. And most of his stories are like that. They're kind of meandering, you know, all over the place, but there's a sexy girl is the main character. But in this one I'm talking about, The Ape, it's like sort of Zen Buddhist flavored, dealing with Asian mythology, but the main character is like this egotistical ape. It's really, I'm doing a poor job of describing it, but it's not easy to describe.
That's awesome, man. I haven't dove into any heavy metal. I wanted to bring it up. That's why I asked. I was like, you know, why heavy metal? But yeah, that's definitely awesome. I need to check some of that stuff out.
The first 7 years, Javi, those were the best. And you can buy a lot of those stories in graphic novel form.
Okay, yeah.
Because I've got probably a couple of dozen of them.
Even the back issues don't go for too much.
Well,
yeah, you can get a number 1 9.8 for like $300, I think.
Yeah, it's not crazy money.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, NYC. If you get to make that out,
dude, NYC's living the life, bro. Good for him, bro. Good for you, man.
He's lucky enough to be living at the hub of the universe. You know what I'm saying? New York's where it's at.
Yeah, you said you get your comic book ships from Midtown, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and he goes there every week.
Yeah.
And I've had great luck with Midtown. Freaking, they send me shit crispy. I mean, I get my shit. I order it 3 months in advance. I get it shipped monthly, so they'll send me like, I think what's waiting in my house is all of December's books or November's. I don't know, but they'll all be there and they'll all be crispy copies. I've never gotten a copy that wasn't like a 9.6 or a 9.8 candidate from them.
That's nice, man. Have you ever been there?
I've never been. Well, I think we drove through New York when I was real little. I don't remember. I haven't spent a whole lot of time north of Virginia in my life.
It's an experience. You got to try to make it up there one day, man.
No, check it out though. I did do a New England surfing trip when I was 13. It was the winter of '76.
Nice.
We hit. We started in Maryland and we wound up in New Jersey.
Surfing?
Oh yeah, man. Oh, dude, listen. When we were in New Jersey, it was a northeaster. It was really big waves, and there was snow on the ground. It was freezing cold. When you'd paddle under a wave, you'd pop up, and the water in your hair, even though it was salt water, would start to freeze.
That's what I was about to say. That had to be freezing, man.
Dude, I don't play that shit anymore, man. Even though that's when the waves were best. if you got to wear a wetsuit, my fat ass ain't paddling out no more.
Dude, hell no, dude. We went one time to Long Island and we went to Jones Beach. And my kids were getting in the water, man. I just saw the water and it was like brown. It looked like, oh, dude, it looked like it was free. I was like, no way, dude. No way I'm going in that shit. If something happens to you guys out there, dude, I got to, because you're on your own, man, because I ain't jumping in that crap, dude. No offense to New Jersey, to Long Island. I'm sorry.
But listen, here's the thing about Jersey is when a big storm comes through and cleans up the water, it looks emerald green. It's really pretty in the day after a big storm's come through.
Mm.
But I have seen the water brown there more than once.
It was brown, man. It was like, when you live, we live in Miami. It's it's known for the beach. So when you see that and it looks like mud just going, and I was like, this is the top beach in Long Island. I was like, oh my God, no way. No way, dude. I'm sorry. I'm probably offending a ton of people. I'm so sorry. Oh, Topo.
Listen, when I got stationed in Southern California, it was cool as shit. Here's the thing. I was stationed at Pendleton for almost 4 years, and I was only there grand total like a year and a half. We were always somewhere else. But when I was there, I was 2 miles away from a really good wave called Trestles. And I got there in late May, and I had to wait for a paycheck to be able to get aboard, right?
Yeah.
So I get down to the beach. It's like early June. It's 85 degrees. There's good waves, and I'm looking at everybody, and they're wearing wetsuits. And I'm like, what are these people, crazy? It's fucking June. Paddled out, didn't last 30 minutes. Had to wait another 2 weeks to get the money to buy a wetsuit. The water is always freaking cold in Southern California.
Yeah, that's what I've heard, man. It's not like over here on the Atlantic side, at least where we're at. I hear it's freezing all over the place over there.
Yeah, wow, and the farther north you go, the worse it is.
When's the last time you were surfing?
I can't stand cold water. I can't.
The last time my fat ass paddled out was like 3 years ago.
Oh, it hasn't been that long.
Yeah, I'm just getting old, man. I still love it, but it's just, I'm just old at this point.
Hey, Unruly,
you should go to Puerto Rico. Check out the surfs there.
Oh yeah, it'll be nice there. Unruly, you're a lot in Central Florida, right? Have you ever been like to Ocala National Park? They got a ton of springs there. Have you ever done that?
No. I drive. There's 2 or 3 different ways I take to get down here, and one of them takes me through Ocala, but I've never been to the national park there.
Man, they got some beautiful springs. Cold as shit, but beautiful, beautiful springs, man. I haven't been there in a while myself, but yeah, I don't know if I'll do that again. It's too freaking cold. Check
this out, Hialeah. When Disney World opened, the first week it was open, my ass was there.
Wow. That was
me and my dad, my little brothers, my mom, and their best friends and their kids. We all went down to Disney World the week it opened.
Wow.
That was a big deal. That was what, like in the 67, 68? It was in that.
No, it was, God, I don't remember. How was I, 10 or 11? It was the early 70s, like 73 or 4, I want to say.
Hey, do you remember the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea ride?
Man, listen, the last time I was at Disney World in the early 90s, me and my girl went on 20,000 Leagues, and the recording was like 20 seconds behind the ride. It was hilarious.
That ride don't exist no more, man. I used to love that ride.
The haunted house will always be the shit. Always.
That's still good. That's still
and
good.
Listen, I know it's kind of weird, but I love that freaking Swiss Family Robinson treehouse. I love that thing.
Oh my God, I haven't been on that in years, man. I think that's still there. I remember when Space Mountain opened. That was like, dude, that was such a big deal, dude. Yeah, they got rid of it.
Listen, Space Mountain, it's a pussy roller coaster, really.
It is.
But the only thing is you're in the dark. That's the only thing it has going for it.
That's it, man. It's a nothing roller coaster, man. You don't do a loop, you don't do shit. You do a couple of ups and downs, and that's pretty much it, man. But it's the dark, yeah, exactly. But people love it. They gotta revamp it. Who knows? Hey, you got any books you want to show, Unruly? I don't know if you have anything with you.
The only reason, listen, check this out. This is a double page splash of a fastball special. I don't know if you can tell, but here's Colossus down here. The glare might be getting to him. And this was when I was heavy in the art game, and this had just, had came on the market on eBay, right? And so I was willing to bid $5,000 on this piece when it came out.
Wow.
And the day, it was like a week auction, I want to say. The day of, like up until 2 hours beforehand, it was only at like $1,300, $1,500. So here's my, ignorant ass thinking, yeah, I'm going to snag this. This thing sold for like $16,500.
What?
That double page spread right there. And that was 15 years ago. It was 04, 05, somewhere in there. 06 maybe.
Oh my goodness, dude. No, that's a rabbit hole I do not want to even attempt, dude.
Yeah, that's why when Javi was showing that cover the other night, man, them things are not cheap.
No, they're not. They're not cheap. Like down here, we have.
What artist is that?
That's Cassidy.
Crazy.
The same guy that did Planetary.
John Cassidy?
Yeah. And he is probably my favorite interior artist of the last 30 years.
I think he did that. I think he did that Star Wars 1 cover, maybe.
He is so wasted as a cover artist. He's just wasted. That's like McCone. I really love McCone, and all he ever does is a cheesy ass cover every now and then.
You just got that Falcon statue also, didn't you?
Yeah, man. I was at Ollie's yesterday looking at their graphic novels, and this was on the shelf for $7. I was like, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, $7?
Yeah. I got the cap to go with it, but it's really all about the Falcon.
Best $7 ever. Best $7 spent ever.
So, Javi, let me ask you this. How did you come up with Conquistadorks?
Oh, great question, Unruly.
So I was really big into D&D. I still am. And it all kind of stemmed off of that. And then I was like, wavering between hobbies, like, what am I going to dedicate most of my time on? And then, whatever. I started doing live streams for comics. It was all going to start with mostly Dungeons and Dragons stuff. And then, long story short, 90MF Comics, Chad got me into comics more. And then I started doing the live stream for comics, but I needed a name. So I would watch all these, Nerdist, the website, and then Geek and Sundry, who does a lot of like Dungeons and Dragons and tabletop and board game stuff. I was like looking at names like that, like, okay, they use nerd already, they used geek already, like what is not taken? So I came up with dork and then Conquistadork because I wanted to like mash it up with something, and that's how I came up with it, Conquistadorks.
Yeah. Conquistadors always come up when you put in Conquistadorks. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, I don't, it's not something that's super popular that you can just search and then it'll come up instantly. No, and people say Conquistadorks, and I'm not gonna say anything, but Conquistadorks.
You know how many times they've messed up Hialeah? At the beginning,
it's like they see the Q. Once they see the Q and the U, it's like, oh man, this is too many letters. And too many letters in the name. I'm gonna go, just a little.
Hey, Unruly. How did you get Unruly Simian?
Yeah, what's with Unruly Simian and you throwing down all the peace signs all the time?
So check it out. So, USMC in the 60s, they used to say Uncle Sam's Misguided Children was what USMC stood for. Then in the 70s, it was Uncle Sam's Marijuana Club. So we were sitting around one night drinking, trying to come up with something clever for USMC. And my best friend, this hillbilly from West Virginia, I mean, dude grew up on the side of a mountain with no plumbing, no electricity, smart as a whip. And we were struggling with all these stupid things. And he looked at us, and there was about 5 of us sitting around. He said, "Shit, y'all, we ain't nothing but a bunch of unruly simians masturbating constantly." And we fell out. We just fell out. So I've been Unruly Simian ever since.
Dude, that is awesome, bro. That's a great origin story. I wish I had an origin story like that's a nice origin story, bro.
That's hilarious.
Badass. Unruly Simian. Everybody's in love with you, bro. You're fucking hitting it off, dude. You're one of the chat masters, dude, for sure. I'm glad you came on with us too. Thank you so much.
No, this is fun as hell. And listen, you're talking about mispronouncing Conquistadorks. I always misspell your name, Hialeah, in the chats. I want to leave out the A. I want to spell it Hileah.
You're not the only one. That's how Gray Man does it. He always puts Hialeah. Yeah, he always leaves out the A.
You should pull up the show. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, have you ever had Gray Man on? Gray Man is a trip.
Yeah, he's a freak. Have you seen his videos, dude?
Oh yeah.
His Gray Man when he was like coming out of the water. Oh, dude, so good, man. I think that water was cold too.
Oh, it was. I don't think the water ever gets warm there.
No. It's conch.
Bake, yeah, I know how to say conch.
Conch.
It's not Koch.
He had to correct me when he was on the show, when he was on Inquiring Minds.
It's conch.
I ain't had no conch fritters in a long time. I need to track some down.
Oh my god, man. The ones in the Keys are the best, bro. Forget it. It's so good. I freaking love conch fritters. So you're gonna be on Grader's Notes, huh? How do you like going on there? You did great. You've been there once or twice before, right?
Yeah, I like it, but I'll tell you what, man, those guys really bring their A game to dissecting the issues. I got to get more serious about it. It amazes me that, like, if y'all ever watch Genome, all right, have you seen any of the reviews he's been doing of Star Trek: The Next Generation?
Yeah, he does.
He does good reviews. He does great reviews, but he sits there and struggles for words sometimes. When he's doing these comic reviews, he is on point. That man is eloquent as hell. Roger's dropping the facts. Kenny is always noticing details that no one else does. Yeah. And Miracle is just being the curmudgeon from hell. I love Miracle. I got to step it up and start actually critiquing these damn things.
What book are you guys doing again? You said it a little earlier.
The first issue of Whedon and Cassidy's Astonishing X-Men. And if y'all ain't read that, listen to me. Oh my God, Josh Whedon is a huge motherfucking fanboy, and it comes across in every page. He is a geek just like us, and just like us, he loved that fucking Byrne Claremont run. And when he got the chance to play with this little toy box, he did it better than anyone ever has since Claremont, to me, in my little opinion.
Wow.
It is a great read. And the art is just freaking amazing.
Yeah, the art's really good in that.
I'm going to have to get it. I've never read it myself.
That was right around the time where the movies were coming out, I think.
Yeah, it came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And listen, y'all, Josh Whedon, those first 2 Avengers movies, that's all him, baby.
Yeah.
I love that dude. I'm a huge Buffy head, man. I'm a big Buffy head, and I love Angel. And Firefly was the best science fiction show ever that never got a chance. If you haven't watched Firefly, it is great.
I've never seen it, man. Dude, you're like really well rounded. I haven't seen half of those things.
Well, listen, Buffy. If you ever decide to watch Buffy, you got to put up with the first season. But after that, it really takes off. It's really good.
I remember the movie. That's what I remember of Buffy. I never saw the show.
Well, Whedon wrote the movie, but then the directors, they changed it up and made it to something he didn't care for at all. But I mean, the movie was okay. The best part about that movie was Pee Wee Herman's death scene. Do you remember that? Where it takes him like a minute to die. He just keeps going, It's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh no! Life with Two YouTubers doesn't like the movie. It sucked for the time.
No, it did. But Pee Wee's death scene was worth whatever you paid to see it. Because I love me some Pee Wee Herman, man. He is awesome. Yeah, when his show was on in the '80s, his Saturday morning show, I would wake and bake and watch that show every Saturday morning.
Hell yeah.
Oh, that is too cool.
They started playing that on Adult Swim for a little bit. Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse.
I think it just had an anniversary, like a 40-year anniversary or 35-year anniversary or something. I think it was in the news the other day. I think he was being interviewed on one of the late shows.
Yeah, I wasn't old enough either, Bake. Don't worry.
Wake and bake for people, yeah. Oh, dude, too cool. All right, man. We've been going over an hour, dude. This is, hey, you were saying that this was gonna be the least watched show. I think you're mistaken, dude. We've had an incredible chat, man. We've had some awesome people come by and support and catch you, man. So I think you undersold yourself, Unruly. I don't know if you know it, man, but you're loved, dude.
You know what, man? And 84 was talking about it on his stream. Mm-hmm. This is such an awesome community. There's so many cool, fucking genuine people. Yeah. I mean, I have experienced zero friction, and there's a lot of great people, man. And I think a lot of us are truly loved by everyone else, you know, for whatever reason.
It feels like a family, man. It's strange to say that, but we just love everything, the whole comic, you know, statues, everything about it, and we all support each other. And I think everybody just gets off and people being happy with their collections and getting books and just sharing on YouTube, man. I'm sick of saying it, man, but I'm so happy I jumped in. I know Javi is. I think we all are, man.
Well, check out Big Remo, man. Did you see what he said?
Yeah, we used to get lit watching Larry Fishburne scenes from Pee Wee's Playhouse.
He's seen some shit, man. I mean, he's been around for some big time rap albums that dropped back in the day.
Pope was asking your favorite old early indie book, if you could pick one.
There it is.
It would probably be American Flag by Chaikin. I love Chaikin, and
I used to have that.
Book blew my mind.
Just Chaikin's awesome. Did he draw that too?
But I'll tell you what, the book it's not my absolute favorite, but it was the one I used to wait for the with the most anticipation was Dead World. Dead World was Walking Dead, 15 years before Walking Dead came around, and it was better.
God, I don't remember that.
It was so much fun, man. Dead World. What was cool about Dead World is you knew what was causing the zombie invasion. It was demons from another dimension.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I don't think.
Other than that, it was the typical setup. The group of survivors doing their best to make it.
Kirkman just made it a little bit more, not so magical or whatever with the demons and stuff, I guess. He never did give a reason. Hey, look who showed up.
Whoa, Big Remo, you were there for Octagon? Man, that's a great freaking album. All right, yeah. See, I'm old school rap, man. I don't listen to a whole lot of stuff that's come out in the last 10, 15 years.
Shit, I don't know who Dr. Octagon is.
Oh man, those are a couple of great albums.
Hey, we were talking about this gentleman earlier. Remember this? Look who just jumped in. Man Cave Comics, man. Great show today with Biggie. Amazing.
Yeah, and listen, could you have any two more different people in a live stream than Man Cave and Biggie? That was awesome.
Yeah, man. But he was so cool. He was so sarcastic. He had such a great wit. Oh my God, I can't wait to see more of him, man. For sure, you got to do more of that, Man Cave, man. That was so much fun watching.
Scarpids is also in here. Scarpids.
Hey, what's up, Scarpid?
If you watch Man Cave's videos, he's like the grown up amongst us. You know what I'm saying? he's got the elegant setup. It's cool as hell.
No, dude, that was super awesome, man. Love that show today. And you're right, you nailed it on the so polar opposites, right? Biggie and him, but it worked. It worked.
Realm number 4, First Dead World.
Yeah, Pope, was that an ad or was it actually an appearance? Because I've heard that and I didn't know it at the time.
Oh, Cool Keith and Dan the Automator and Qbert equals Dr. Octagon. That's some good music knowledge.
Cool Keith is the all-time man. Cool Keith is my favorite rapper ever. My favorite person in hip hop.
Awesome.
If he's involved in something, I own it.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff, guys. Everybody in the chat. Hialeah.
Amazing, man. The chat's been amazing.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're gonna
get Gray Man on. That's my request. Get Gray Man on.
Hey, I got a question.
What time is it? If we go live at 9 p.m. EST, what time is it over there? Do you know?
I think it's like a 5-hour difference.
Yeah,
it's like
4 or 5 ahead of us, isn't it?
So we would have to go on at like 7 or 6.
7.
We could make it happen.
Yeah.
Gray Man is nocturnal as hell, y'all.
The G-Ray Man.
He stays up late, so yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning over there. Dude, my last question. Are you gonna try to make it a MegaCon?
I want to go. I wanted to go last year, and I had to work that weekend. And I got this job starting in Atlanta. I might have to be there for that. I do not know. But if I'm still here in Fort Myers, my ass will be there.
Good. I hope it runs long.
Yeah.
That would be awesome to meet you, man, and hang out.
It would. I would love to meet everybody. I think between C2E2 and MegaCon, everyone in the community is going to meet everyone in the community.
Yeah, it's going to be in those two cons this year. I think it's where everybody's going to hook up, man.
And I don't want to miss it.
No, we need you there. We need you there hunting with all of us, meeting all of us. It's going to be a great time for sure.
I'll tell you, one reason you need me is to be the designated driver.
You might be driving a lot of people around. We'll have to rent a bus. Oh my God. All right, man. Hey, Javi, you got anything going on in your channel?
Tomorrow, I'm hoping to do a Oprah Boys book club with D-Hide. We're going to talk about the new Marvel books that came out, the End series that just came out, the one-shots. There was one for Venom, Captain America, and Doctor Strange. We might talk about all three. You know, we'll see what happens, but I'm hoping to do that tomorrow. Cool. And Silver Age Sunday, check us out. Hanging out with the mightiest panel of them all on the Conquistadork channel, 12 o'clock, noontime, EST, every Sunday. Go check us out.
What about you, Unruly? What you got going on?
I'm subbing for Metarog a week from tomorrow on Graders Notes. And other than that, I'll just put out a video of the stuff I bought, in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Cool. You guys heard about Metarogs on the 24th, right? The big unveiling, the big. Oh
yeah, I'm ready for that.
That's gonna be epic, man.
That is gonna be epic.
That's gonna be a crazy night. It's a Monday, and oh my god, I think everybody's already jacked up for it. It's gonna be so good, man. You know he's gonna do it right, and you know everybody loves Metarog. What can I say? I don't have to say anything. Everybody freaking loves Metarog. He's amazing. He's a pillar.
That's one thing everyone has in common. We all love Raj.
We all love Raj, man. We all love Raj. He made a comment. Oh my god! Yesterday I did this new thing during the day, and he put that he might be because he has his family here. He might be coming down later in the year, man. How cool it would be to meet Roger, man.
That would be awesome for sure.
Hanging out with Roger, wow, that would be freaking. Imagine taking him to some shops. Oh wow, dude. Oh my goodness. Anyway, guys, Unruly, thank you so much for coming on, man. I just love doing this. I know I feel like I repeat myself, but it's just the truth, man. I just love doing this every week. Javi, thank you so much for always being here with me. Unruly, man, thank you, dude. Can't wait to see you on Graders Notes and see you around a lot more.
Yeah, man, thank you so much.
No, thank y'all for having me. I had a lot of fun doing this.
It's always fun. I love getting to know the different members, man. I hope. Well, I guess the chat shows that they like it too, man. So guys, anyway, we got somebody lined up for next week. I can't wait, like always. Oh man, it's gonna be all right. Thank you so much for stopping by. Unruly, Javi, guys, be good, and see you next week. I'm not sure what time we're gonna be on, either 8, 9, or 10, depending on the guest. So, or maybe 7. Who knows if it's we got what is it? Someone from across the pond jumping in, but you gotta stay tuned. So thank you so much, and so long from the Sunshine State, guys. Be good, everybody. See you in the chats.
Later, y'all.